everybody, welcome to GARDNSOUND 365. My name is GARDNSOUND. This is the show where we write music every day for a year. You're probably asking yourself, why is my chair so squeaky? No, it's not. That's not at all what you're asking. You're probably asking yourself, what are you doing in this room? Where are you? What's going on? Well, I'm at my parents' house, and they've recently kind of decorated and gotten the place together. I haven't seen it this put together, and it looks great. And I'm in the guest room right now, and yeah, it's super nice. So thanks to them for letting me stay here. I am actually in town playing a charity event, and I will be doing that tonight, helping my dad out with a couple of projects around the house tomorrow and Tuesday. Tuesday, of course, is the 200th episode, so I'll be going out with some friends Tuesday evening to celebrate that. In honor of the 200th episode, I'm going to be posting a link down below today and tomorrow and Tuesday to the 100th episode that I did with my friend Jason Murray. So links to his channel and the 100 video in the description down below. Check it out. Do it. Oh, good. I'm in a very good mood. This is my second day in a row where I've woken up and I've been up and positive. It's really good. I'm hoping this continues. Another thing I want to say about this house, they've got fiber internet here. Holy crap. Fiber internet is ridiculous. It took me literally 35 seconds. 35 seconds to upload the song today. 35 seconds. Back in Atlanta, it takes about 8 to 10 minutes. I was feeling real 80s today, so I wrote some nice 80s music, some soundscapey kind of stuff. So when you go click on that link, that'll appear here at the end of the video. Nice 80s music for you. So yesterday I teased that it might be a good idea to do an Ask Me Anything or a question and answer. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I've got some questions that came in. I'm going to do my best to answer those. And like I said, just a little Q&A. And Sundays we typically do kind of a chill video and talk about stuff that mattered to me this week. And I haven't done a Q&A in months. So we're going to do one. All right. So we've got a couple of good questions here. We're going to start off with one from Anthony. And the question is, hey, I have a question for your AMA. How important do you think your creative space is to your creative process? This is something I was just thinking about. I'm not even kidding. It's funny that you asked this. The creative space that I occupy, right, my studio, is very purposefully designed to maximize creativity. And I think one of the most overlooked things in terms of a creative space is lighting. So you'll notice in my studio when you watch my videos, I used to have big overhead lights. Those weren't very good for creativity. I'm not a huge fan of overhead lights. I mean, you can see here and here. I like lamps. I like lights that radiate from all sides and aren't above shining down. I'm not a huge fan of the down lighting. I like up lighting. So in my creative space, I've found that having a lot of up lights, small lights, different types of lights, really activates the creative parts of my brain. Now, I'm a very visually creative person, so when I see something, I'll start to hear things. So when I put those types of lamps and lights around my studio, I look at those and you know, my brain will start to play with the lights and play with the way that they dance on the wall, and so yeah, to answer your question, how important do you think creative space is for your creative process? It's very important. The place where you're at, for me at least, determines my creative level. Determines how much creativity I'll be able to exude, how much I'll be able to actually put out there. Because if I'm in a very claustrophobic room that doesn't have any like space, I'm not going to be very creative. If I'm in a very plain space, you know, like an office, I'm not going to have very much creativity. I always suffer when my space is bland, when the walls are just all vanilla and there's no accents. Like in this room, my mother, thank God, is very good at designing, and she has a very creative mind. And so when growing up, my room was always decorated with some nice creative paintings and cool tapestries and drapes and stuff. She's always had an ability to kind of pick out the right thing, and able to design her home in a creative manner. So I've never experienced that, but I mean, I've been to other people's houses where things are just very plain, and I'm never able to create much there. So, you know, whenever I travel, like when I go up to North Carolina, for instance, like I was last week, or, you know, here in this house, I actually don't have a single problem being creative, just because the way my mother decorates is very conducive to creative thought. Good question. I think it's very important. This next question is from Citizen. He asks, any question? Question mark? Yeah, any question. Would you do any sort of collaboration, music-wise, with your subs in the future? Oh yeah, absolutely. In fact, there's one sub who's still working on something that we decided to collaborate on a long time ago. That's still in the works, actually, so I'm currently in the middle of a collaborative effort with one of my subscribers. We did a part 1 of how to do the postal service, that type of music, and he's working on some lyrics. And you know, eventually we're going to get those lyrics back, record them, and we'll have part 2 of how to do the postal service with lyrics. So yeah, that's definitely, I'm totally open to do collaborations with my subscribers, especially if you're doing something on YouTube, especially if you've got your own channel, and you're working on and you're on the come up, and you need that bump, and any way I can help, I'm in. Because the only way I've gotten to where I am is collaborating with bigger YouTubers. So absolutely, thumbs up. Braden, he said, hey, thanks for doing the episode. You always hear practice makes perfect, but it's often hard to tell, so it's inspiring to watch someone do it day to day and see their improvements. Thank you very much. Practice makes perfect is such a hard pill to swallow when you're starting, right? It's music to my ears now that I've done literally 198 songs. When someone says practice makes perfect, I'm like, yes it does. Practice does make perfect. You will improve if you practice, but it's the hardest pill to swallow when you're just starting on something, because you're like, oh my God, how much time have I put into life? You know, like how much time have I put into what I've already been doing in life? And the thing is, especially if you're my age or younger, you're so young. We've got so much time. And just put in that effort and put in that daily practice and get your I advocate for at least 30 minutes a day. At least 30 minutes a day of some form of practice. It can be drums, it can be guitar, it can be bass, it can be piano, it can be writing, it can be music theory, it can be exercising your ears with some sort of a theory drill. Anything. 30 minutes a day. You've got to keep your brain engaged in music if you want to improve. So yeah. Like, you know that go outside and play 10 or play 30 or whatever. It was an NFL sort of like ad campaign to get children off their asses and outside. I'm gonna do the same thing with music. Just like play 30. Like get your instrument in your hand and play some music and improve those skills and make the world a better place with a joyful noise instead of arguments, instead of wars, instead of gunshots. Let's fill the world with beautiful music and beautiful sound. But yeah, I'd be definitely interested to do another one of these Q&As. In fact, we could do another Q&A next Sunday if you'd like. Maybe we'll wait 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I'll make an announcement at some point. But keep those questions coming, regardless of whether or not I'm doing a Q&A or doing an AMN. And I'll save them. Next time I do a Q&A, you might see your question there. So don't ever hesitate to hit me up on Twitter or hit me up in the comments section with a question. But that's going to be it for today. My name is GARDNSOUND. New music right here. I'll see y'all tomorrow.